morning, amazing people out there, our wonderful and ever faithful audience. Welcome to another beautiful day, another beautiful Saturday. And today we come your way once again on Bold TV. This is our usual, platform for educating you, informing you, and sometimes entertaining you, depending on what, we have in store. So today we are here once again. And by the way, before I continue, I know, we had our first episode, even though we have, everybody was not in one place. Happy New Year. Thank you for joining us once again in 2024. We appreciate your presence and your support. So thank you for joining us again. Happy New Year. I'm here once again with some of my co-hosts, and we have a guest in the house. And this morning we are here to talk about something really important in light of the new year. But before we continue, I'd like to just once again, as is our usual, manner, to continue to solicit for your support. We need your support financially. Whatever you have to give goes a long way in helping us meet our targets. The platform we use is not free, and so we usually know we need to pay for this platform. And so whatever you can do to support us will be most welcome. If this has been a blessing to you and we have, impacted your life positively in any way in years past, we would appreciate your support financially. We would appreciate your support. Go to our Facebook group page, go to YouTube, subscribe. If you've not subscribed to our YouTube channel, I don't know, what are you doing? Go and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Go to Facebook, like, comment, share. Somebody out there needs to hear this message. So after having sold my markets, now we move on to our topic for today. So as I said before, we are here today to talk about something really important. I know in this new year, everybody, new year resolution, we have said we will do this one, we'll do this one. But after you have said all that, and after all the prayer and fasting, what next? Today we'll be talking about increasing capacity. According to my dictionary, capacity means your ability to receive, your ability to do, your ability to achieve certain things. It's all about growth. And with me today, like I said, I have my co-host and we have a guest. You've seen, for those who have been constant and followed us, you've seen her. She's come on this platform before. So before I start, I will give room for my co-host and the guest to introduce themselves, because we are well-mannered people. We will introduce ourselves before we begin.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Happy New Year. Like you said, I've been here before, but I just want to introduce myself again. I'm Barrister Mrs. Oreva Ofe Ikime. I'm a lawyer. I'm a disability advocate. I suffered polio as a child, and then I work with a walking aid, with a leg brace, and with a walking stick. And then at times, if I'm not able, I go to my wheelchair. And then I'm based in Delta State.
A beautiful morning to all our beautiful fans out there. It's a lovely Saturday morning once again, and we are here to serve you no less the best in edutainment, information, education, and entertainment. My name is Oluwatomisin Olatayo. I'm a broadcast journalist, a copywriter, a sound engineer, a disability and gender rights advocate. Feels really awesome to be here once again. Thank you. If I forget, I'm based in Abeokuta, Ogun State, and I'm a visually impaired person.
All right. Hi, everyone. Happy New Year. My name is Reki Andrew Essien. I'm based in Port Harcourt in Rivers State. You know me. I'm here every Saturday. I use a wheelchair from spinal cord injury. Glad to be here. Thank you.
All right. And I'm your head teacher for today. My name is Afion Getum. I'm based in Yo, and I use a wheelchair from spinal cord injury. I'm a medical lab scientist. So let's dive right in. And before we start, I'd like to say we'll keep our answers brief and to the point so that we can accommodate, as many views as possible. All right. So first off, what does it mean to increase capacity? Let's just lay that foundation. We talked about what I gave an intro about what capacity is. So what does it mean when we say increasing capacity? What does that mean? Let's break it down. Frankie.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. So to increase capacity, you had expressed what capacity is. And if I'm going to bring it using the human angle, for a human being, capacity can be in different areas. It can be personal, it could be professional, it could be intellectual. It can also do with a person's ability to person's will, ability to commit to things, or resilience. So increasing capacity means general improvement for a person in different areas of life, whether in skills, whether professionally, whether personally, whether in a person's ability. So it has to do with a moving forward or an adding to for a person. Thank you very much.
All right. So you mentioned some keywords there. Yes, I like the part about adding to. So that means nobody is empty. Everybody has something to. So adding to. What are you doing to add to what you already have or who you already are? All right. Oreva, you have something to add to that?
It's capacity has to do with the ability, to do more than we can do presently. But that's what it means to increase capacity. There's something extra based on what we are doing now. The ability to do more is increasing capacity.
All right, thank you. So now there's one key word, one underlying thing: doing more, adding, increasing. Those are the key words. Doing more than you're doing now, becoming more than you are now, moving forward. So it speaks to growth. All right, so we're going to move on to our next question. Tomisin, why do women with disabilities in particular need to increase capacity?
Thank you very much, Afyong. Women with disabilities in particular need to increase capacity because, you cannot afford to be stagnant in the society we are in right now. The moment you become stagnant, the moment you become redundant, the moment you are not forward-looking anymore, you're going to be pushed aside. Even if we are not with a disability, it's something that you just have to keep growing, keep being dynamic in whatever you find yourself in, so you can stay relevant, so you can stay on top of your game, so you can also, stay active. You cannot, for instance, let me give you an example of the pandemic. The pandemic opened our eyes to a lot of things that we could do extra, a lot of things that we could do more easily. So if you are, for instance, before the pandemic, you're not tech savvy, you're not social media savvy, you're not moving along with the digital media, for instance, to ensure that it helps you to do more, it adds to your capacity and all. After the pandemic, if you have still not learned how to use it, if you have still not learned how to use those digital tools, maybe professionally, personally, or otherwise, you are going to go into extinction before you know it. It means that where others are finding it quite easy, you'll be struggling to meet up because you've not started adding value to yourself to ensure that you continue to grow and develop as a human being. So women with disabilities cannot afford to overlook growth and development.
All right, thank you very much. I like what you said about adding value. More often than not, we forget that, we say, oh, I want to make more money, I want to, get more. But you forget that in life, it's about give and take. What are you offering in exchange for what you want? So it's about adding value. What value are you giving out there? Increasing capacity. If you don't learn or move with the times, for women with disabilities especially. So, Freki, do you want to add to that? Why in particular do they need to? Because, when we talk about this, it's as if it's for other people. So why do they need to in particular?
Sure. I'm going to come from this angle that we must consider the intersection of gender and disability, and I want to come from that space. When you see women generally, whether a woman with disability or a woman without disability, that gender has a way of insisting on that extra for any woman, whether it's in the corporate world or really in any space. Then take a person with disability. First of all, people judge books by their covers, by their ability to hear, by their ability to move. So you also find that as a person with disability, sometimes you have to do the extra to prove yourself. Imagine bringing those two together. You now see that a woman with disability must intentionally increase her capacity so that people do not measure you only based on either you being a woman or you being a person with disability or you being a woman with disability. Why? Because there is more to you than just being a woman with disability. So in whatever area, you must be able to insist or express or increase your capacity and your expertise so much that people are seeking you out for what you can do, for your abilities, for your capacity, and not because they're trying to be inclusive or because they want to meet a quota for inclusivity. So I just want to add that. Thank you.
Wow, that's amazing, because we know why I asked this question was because we all know in the disability community what it's like. That there are so many of us who just sit down and, in fact, we're going to, that's a whole topic on its own, entitlement. Who just assume that, oh, because I am this, then I deserve to get this. But they forget that life does not give you what you want. It gives you what you actually go after. You need to have something to give. No, there's nobody who has nothing to give. You need, even go through the Bible, you will see many times that anybody ever demanded for something was also asked from, that person had to give up something. So you cannot assume that, oh, because I sit on a wheelchair, because I use a white cane, because I am an amputee, that I deserve to be given. What do you have to offer? So in light of that, I know many people will think, oh, all right, so now that you've said, okay, we need to do this, what's next? So that brings me to my next question. We know the way things are right now. Inflation has hit an all-time high. Dollar is dancing skelewu on all our, in fact, don't even think dollar is now nobody's base. Things are just, prices of things have skyrocketed, so many things. So what are the key areas that women with disabilities need to focus on when it comes to building capacity? What do they need to do in particular? What areas should they, because you can't do everything, you'll be overwhelmed. So what areas do they need to focus on in order to be able to, add value to themselves and be able to, move forward forever?
Yeah, when you gave me this topic, increasing capacity, I thought about it and I felt that it's two-pronged. Yeah, there's the internal and then there's the external. There are the internal things that we as women with disabilities have to, provide for ourselves or build or, create for ourselves. And then there's this external one that the society will have to help us with. So the internal ones that we have to build for ourselves, first of all, has to be, building self-esteem. We have to have that, so that in this world, just like we said, where inflation is out of the, it's crazy. If you don't have that internal resilience to know that, look, in spite of this, I can still be who I need to be, it's going to be crazy. So that's one thing that we need to do as women with disabilities.
All right, thank you so much. Self-esteem, and we know it is one thing that is sorely lacking, unfortunately, when it comes to the majority of persons with disability. Many of us have been battered and bruised, based on where we are coming from. So we need to really, really help ourselves build, start from the inside to overhaul and, begin to build that, mental capacity, mental strength, resilience to be able to move forward. Because if you don't have that, you cannot go forward with whatever you want to do. Tomisi, you want to add to that?
Okay, so I'll add to it by saying that another area we as women with disability can build our capacity, can increase our capacity, is in the kind of profession, career, job, work, or whatever it is that you do. So carve a niche for yourself in whatever it is that you do and build on that niche. Like you said earlier, you cannot do everything. You cannot be everywhere. You cannot be, they say, jack of all trade, a master of none. No. that would not help you at this time. But find your footing, find your base in a particular job, career, work path that you set for yourself, and then build on it. Look out for ways, measures, techniques, activities that you can engage in to ensure that whatever it is you have as your handwork is growing and you are also developing alongside.
All right. Thank you so much. You've spoken to professional in the area of profession, your career path. You sit down and decide what exactly it is you need to do. The area you know that you have a passion for and you have, the necessary skills. Frankie, I'd like you to chip in.
Okay, so I will speak to both the intrinsic and the extrinsic part, as Oreva has, indicated. So taking it from what Tomi said, do not be satisfied. Never be satisfied with where you are with your skill proficiency in anything that you're doing, because the world will continue to advance and move forward. And if you are stuck on what you learned, sometimes even 2 years ago, you might find that you become obsolete. So be intentional about finding what you could add by way of value to the skill that you already have. I'm saying this because this is not about finding a new skill. This is about improving what you currently have. There are some people that the cake they could bake with maybe royal icing that year. That's all they know. Fondant came, they didn't follow. Cream, I'm using cake because we like cake. Cream icing came, they didn't know. Whipped came, they didn't know. So I'm just saying that it's important at this stage to continue to add to the skill that you already have. Don't be satisfied with where you were or where you are. Also, the digital world is no longer suggestive. It is kind of, I don't want to say it insists on itself. This is the digital era. You cannot say, please, you can't even use phone, not having a smartphone as an excuse not to be digitally inclined, because there are so many cyber cafes out there. So what I'm saying is this: we need to eliminate excuses from our lives that will hinder us from increasing our capacity. So I'm diving now into the internal place. If you're somebody that you find that excuses are you always have an excuse why, let me shock you.
Procrastination.
No, don't be procrastination. This one is excuse. Excuses. That's I cannot do it because I'm unable to, because. So let me shock you. Every woman with disability has at least many reasons why she may not do it. So rather than say I cannot because, ask yourself, tell yourself I can because, and you start by ending that line. I can because I am worth it. If you even start with that, you will find the strength to run for it. So your internal life, your internal environment needs to be in tune with what you want to get externally. I like how Oliver divided it. Your internal environment really has to be in tune, or else excuses, and then like Afyong now said, procrastination. Wow, I will. And then you find that this is in February already, and then you're still like really. And you now find out in 2025, and you're like, man, if I put this thing that time, I would have been 1 year in. So procrastination is also an enemy. And finally, feeling that you don't deserve it. Oh God, this one. That's why I started that statement. Instead of saying I cannot because, say I can because I am worth it, and then add the remaining. There's a lot to say, but let me stop there. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. And what I hear is relevance and mastery. You have to ensure that per time you are relevant. Many persons with disability, we accuse the world of excluding us, but more often than not, we exclude ourselves. I remember very well, in fact, one of the things I have told myself I will do this year is be more proactive. Go after what I want, go after the knowledge I need, find ways to apply, because it's one thing to, you sit down, they keep pouring in, and then at the point you become constipated. You have to find a way, put it to good use so that you can get the results you need. And then, like Frankie said, you don't need to go and reinvent the wheel. You don't need to do a new thing. There may be one thing you're already good at. Find out, how can I improve on that one thing? How can I do better? What are the current trends? What does the world need now? regarding this my particular skill? Is there any other thing I can go and learn to add to what I know so that I can be on top of my game? That's another thing. So rather than trying to run all over the place, and like you said, we accuse the world of taking us out, not bringing us in there. How many of us put ourselves out there? How many of us come out and say, see me, oh, you must see me? We tend to be invisible. We hide behind disability and make excuses. And then tomorrow we blame the world for not including us. There's no inclusion. It sounds sweet. No inclusion. They cannot even find you to include you. So where is the inclusion going to come from? Be visible. I'm begging you. So now that we've, I had to take time, let everybody contribute to that particular, so that somebody will not say, okay, where do I start? You have heard it. Start somewhere. There's always somewhere to start from. So finally, this question will go to everyone. I need us to be practical. What are those practical steps? Because somebody may need more breaking down. What are the practical steps someone can take to actually start this capacity building? If you have a practical examples, that would be wonderful. Where can someone start? Where can that woman with disability start? So please, Tomisin, I'll start with you.
All right, thank you very much, Afyong. Late last year, around October, I decided to diversify my broadcasting skill. Yes, I do on-air personality, I do voiceover and all of that. And I looked at it like, okay, I could also do social media writing for people to advertise their products, more like, copywriting. And lo and behold, somehow I just, saw like a call to action to enroll in a copywriting class, with all its rules and all of that. And I was willing. And so I joined the class, I went through it all, and then I got certified. I didn't also stop there because, maybe 3 weeks, 4 weeks training is not enough to be a master of what some people spend years at the university studying. So I had to also see books on copywriting, examples on copywriting, look for someone who could mentor me in that field. And just this January, I got my first copywriting gig. So it means that if you put your mind to do something, especially when you look at your existing skill and you want to build on it, you want to increase capacity on it, all you need to do is put your mind to it, put your eyes out for opportunities. When the opportunities come, take it. And so when you take the opportunity, continue to increase your capacity on that skill. Look for someone to mentor you, to lead you in the right direction. Because in my language, we say, night that did not fall in your eyes, you cannot walk through it without light. So it means that it's a new skill, or it's a new path of your existing skill that you are moving into. So you need someone to direct you, to give you guidance, and be on the lookout for how you can practicalize it. Thank you.
Wow. You see, somebody planted seed in October and she has started reaping the harvest in January. There is nothing, what God cannot help you do does not exist, but there must be a seed. You must plant the seed. Like she said, it starts from the mind. Once you make up your mind, I don't like where I am. And like they say, you're not a tree, move. You want to move, and once you start looking, the universe has a way of, your mindset will attract what you need towards you. Like she said, once she made up her mind, I need to get an additional skill. She started looking and she got access to that class to learn, and then moved on. Okay, Frankie.
Okay, so what can you do? Me, I will say start. Thank God. There's something called the thief of time, and that is the waiting game. Start. As long as you have that idea of what you want to do, start. You can start, and when I mean start can be by researching or finding out what it takes for me to be able to do this. Why am I saying start? Sometimes we conclude the matter without finding out, getting information. We've already concluded it's not for me, it will be too expensive, it will be too this, it will be too that. And we find out that if we go and make inquiries, it's not as deep as we thought it would be. So start, and don't just start, okay, you want to plunge, start by getting information. That is a good place to start. Number 2, follow who know road. 1 or 2 persons have passed that badly. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. Sometimes, I don't know whether it's pride. I can't tell why sometimes women with disabilities don't want to reach out to other women with disabilities. I don't get that at all. To ask questions, please, how did you go about this? Or what did you do to? Or how did you come here, come there? You now want to enter there and struggle. It's unnecessary. Follow who know road. Ask questions. Reach out to women with disabilities in that space and ask questions. Me, I'm for asking. I will ask you. I mean, how did you do this thing? I have people that I call in different spaces. How did you go about this? How did you go about this? Because I feel that if they've done it, I don't need to crack my head about it. The other thing I would say is this. Sometimes too, you do not need to do it on your own. Collaborate, partner. That's another one I see. You want to be the one. It doesn't help. 2 are always better than 1. Imagine if, for example, on Bold TV, it was only Frankie or only this person. And by now I've done close because man is exhausting. But we now found other people, and here we are today, able to do and do and do. You must not, find people to partner with. It actually makes the journey easier and further. And the last thing that I would like to say about increasing your capacity would be that you pray for direction. Especially when somebody who is multi-talented, it can become very confusing. You want to do a lot of things. I personally know that I usually have that kind of challenge because I can do a lot of things, science or art or tech. So you have to actually pray a lot for guidance and direction so that you know how to prioritize what is essential per time. Because increasing capacity can become overwhelming when you want to do too much too fast. So prioritize what is urgent. There's a whole thing about that, but you can actually pray for also spiritual guidance. Thank you.
All right. Shebi una done here. You people have here now. It's not this thing. Some of you are still inside the stream and so it's entering your eyes. You have people that go ahead that you can be coming to borrow their sense so that you will not enter gutter. You still want to enter the gutter and see how it is. I don't know what else to say to you. However, I beg, talk. Maybe your own will enter more.
Yes, so everybody has spoken so well, especially when it comes to prioritizing. I think for me, what is most important is we need to get something extra as in increasing our capacity, but it doesn't really have to stress us. You don't have to look inwards and find what we can do at our own pace without really feeling overwhelmed, but at least we'll get as much reward as we could ever dream of. Like recently, I just thought to myself, I'm like, this can't be it. There should be something extra. And then I realized that I've read a lot of books. All the people that are writing these books, it's not as if they can write better than I write. And I've had lots of drafts of novels, in my laptop, on my phone. I just told myself, I said, look, I'm becoming the writer. And so I joined this platform, Medium. And believe you me, I have been publishing online. It's crazy. So like you said, you have to put yourself out there. I've been writing these books about myself, about the things I love over the years. But I just took that bold step to say, this year, I'm putting it out there. And it's yielding. So it was, first of all, like I said, it has to be something that will not stress us, and then something that is rewarding. It can be a skill. You can start to take up knitting at home. Go on YouTube, learn how to knit. It can be something that you can do on your own time and still get to increase. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Many of us have dreams that we have put inside cardboard box and we don't even know where we buried it. Go and dig it out. That dream, that thing you will be to consume you. Please go and bring it out and revisit it. So finally, we're wrapping up right now. So I'm going to ask the ladies just one last word, and let's be very brief. Less than 30 seconds. One last word that you want to say to a woman with disability out there. Tomisin, let's start with you.
All right, thank you very much. Continue to grow and glow. Thank you.
Increase your capacity because you are worth it.
Stay relevant. Once you are relevant, there's no way they can ignore you.
Work smart, not hard. Be smart in what you do. Don't just work hard. And that brings me to the end and brings us to the end of today's episode of Bold TV. I hope somebody out there has learned something. And don't just keep it to yourself. Share, comment, like, subscribe, so that somebody else can also have access to this very timely information. You can reach us via our Facebook page group page, and you can, watch past videos and even this one on our YouTube channel. You have questions or you have suggestions, reach out to us on Facebook or via our email address that will be scrolling on the screen at the end of this. So it's been fun hanging out with you today, and we look forward to coming your way again next week, Saturday, 10:30 a.m. is the time. And we hope that you will continue to support us with your presence and with your cash. I won't lie, we need money. So send us money, please. I'm not ashamed. I am shameless this year. We need money. Send us money. Thank you very much for listening to us today. God bless you. Have a wonderful weekend.
Bye.
Bye, ladies. Say bye. Bye. Say bye.
This is Bold TV.